রেকর্ড রেকর্ড করছে, আমি অফ করে দিই আমার ইয়েটা।
Okay, good morning, everybody. On behalf of Ravindic Psychotherapy Research Institute Trust, I welcome you all for this August gathering. Today, we will learn two things. One is the sampling, another one is the how AI can help in sampling. Before that, I am requesting Farah to talk about the academic activities of RPRIT. So Farah, I am making you host.
Okay, sir.
Yes, Farah, now you can start.
Yes, sir. Good morning, everyone. Okay, I'll start with the RPIT logo. Ravindic psychotherapy, a transformative process designed for self-awakening in the treatment of psychological disorders and mental distress. It is developed by the esteemed president of our institute, Dr. Devdulal Datta Roy, based on his prolonged research and treatment cum counseling of his patients. Ravindic psychotherapy draws inspiration from the creations of the great Rabindranath Tagore. It revolves around the use of therapeutic postulates, which are fundamental assumptions forming the basis of the theory. One key aspect of this psychotherapy is the avoidance of labeling. Instead, it encourages understanding others' consciousness. In Rabindic psychotherapy, consciousness is envisioned in three layers. The Mudra layer, portrayed in gray, serves as a seat of attention, sensation, and perception. Moving to the Rag layer in the middle, we find the domain of feelings, emotions, memory, thinking, and their interconnected associations. This layer is vibrant and diverse, reflecting the colorful flows within consciousness. Finally, the innermost layer, portrayed in white, represents harmony with surrounding aesthetics and the path to creativity and innovation. This unique approach offers a profound understanding of the self and others. Rabindic Psychotherapy of Research Institute Trust logo is a symbol representing the transformative power of self-awareness. Tamsoma Jyotika Maya means exploring the truth by removing the error, which is psychometric approach. RPIT was established on 1st July 2018. RPIT carries out researches in academic field and to promote the study and dissemination of knowledge of Rabindic psychotherapy. Research-based teaching is a philosophy of Rabindic Psychotherapy Research Institute Trust. RPIT created syllabus based on students' need. RPIT is functioning as pan-India. Indians from different parts of the country join RPIT courses every year. Both internal and external faculties are teaching here. The trust has more than 500 students. RPIT launches offline study center at Sri Ram Grand City Grand 1 nearby Konnagar rail station, and RPIT has received its GST number also. The Academic Council of Rabindic Psychotherapy Research Institute Trust plays an important role in academic activities and research. The council is comprised of chairman, secretary, and members having more than 10 years teaching and administrative experiences. General body member includes Dr. Devdulal Datta Roy, Ms. Sudipta Majumdar, Dr. Rama Manna, Dr. Subrata Basak, Dr. Sitarshu Hatwa. Members are Dr. Devdulal Datta Roy, Dr. Ritupurna Basak, Dr. Subina, Dr. Paritita Biswas, Dr. Sushmita Mukhopadhyay, Dr. Ishita Chatterjee, Dr. Subrata Saha. RPIT vision is to establish Rabindic psychotherapy as a globally recognized framework for enhancing human consciousness, psychological well-being, value orientation, creativity, and social harmony. Its mission includes to conduct scientific research on Rabindic psychotherapy, develop innovative psychological and educational interventions, promote value-based education and human development, provide training and capacity building programs for students, teachers, researchers, and professionals, facilitate interdisciplinary research integrating technology, psychology, and humanities, contribute to social development through research-based community initiatives. Growth and engagement opportunity which RPIT provides to students are research internships, literature review projects, data analysis projects, skill development projects, academic writing workshops, certificate courses, research paper publication initiatives. And for researchers, it is joint research projects, PhD guidance support, research publication, instrument development, multidisciplinary research networks. Now let me present the half-yearly achievement report of RPIT for the period January to June 2026. The first half of 2026 has been highly productive for our institute, marked by remarkable progress in research, academic training, publications, industry collaboration, and interdisciplinary outreach. During this 6-month period, RPIT successfully conducted 14 free Sunday webinars covering a wide range of contemporary and interdisciplinary themes such as data analysis using Jamovi, women education and empowerment, psychological counseling, music therapy, AI meditated parenting, AI ethics, psychometric scale development, rabbinic literature, and research methodology. These webinars created a dynamic platform for academic dialogue, professional learning, and knowledge exchange. We were honored to engage 4 external faculty members and 19 guest experts from reputed academic and professional institutions, including ABBS School of Management, Amity University, Kolkata, Singur Government General Degree College, Nimans Bangalore, Siliguri B.Ed College, MMP Shah College, Maharaja Marindra Chandra College, NCRT New Delhi, University of Dhaka, Rabindra Bharati University, Netaji Subhas Open University, Christ University, and the Institute of Engineering and Management. Their valuable contributions significantly enrich RPIT academic ecosystem. In academic training, RPIT successfully engaged a total of 25 participants and students across its major academic programs and internship initiatives during January-June 2026. Two major academic programs were successfully conducted. The 6-month online training on Foundation of Applied Psychometrics with Jamovi and RStudio 8 batch was completed by 7 participants. Additionally, the 3-month certificate course on applied statistics for safety and disaster management using Jamovi was conducted in collaboration with ABBS School of Management, Bangalore, with 8 participants from Tata Power enrolled. RPIT also successfully conducted 160-hour research internship on mixed method research on selected themes extracted from Chandalika with 10 undergraduate students enrolled. This internship provides hands-on exposure to mixed method research, thematic exploration, and research-based learning, reflecting our commitment to applied education. In the area of industry collaboration, RPIT strengthened its engagement with 3 major Tata Power units and successfully involved more than 1,000 workers in psychometric data collection during January to June 2026. As a registered vendor of Tata Power, RPIT developed a significant research collaboration involving the creation of the safety consciousness scale and the conduct of psychometric assessments for worker classification based on safety consciousness across Tata Power Maithon, Tata Power Solar Tuticorin, Tata Power Trombay, and Hydro Plant Khopoli, Mumbai. These collaborations significantly advances RPIT work in behavioral safety, applied statistics, and the development of a zero accident model. In the area of publication, 3 academic books are currently under publication: Introduction to Health Psychology, Introduction to Early Childhood Parenting, and Introduction to Environmental Psychology. These publications reflect RPIT interdisciplinary approach towards psychology, health, environment, and applied behavioral sciences. These projects involve 4 academic contributors: Dr. Anjali Maurya, Ms. Rikta Roy, Ms. Ishita Mandal, and Ms. Lipika Mondal, working under the guidance of our founder president, Dr. Devdulal Datta Roy. Dr. Anjali Maurya, a faculty member at SVKM Narsi Monji Institute of Management Studies and a former student of RPIT 6-month applied psychometric course, contributed valuable academic expertise to the publication projects. Ms. Rikta Roy, with the academic training in psychology and applied psychology and internship experience in reputed mental health institution, made significant research contribution. Ms. Ishita Mandal and Ms. Deepika Mandal, both assistant professor in nursing at Alia University and top performers in RPIT 4-month course on early childhood parenting, contributed to the parenting focused publication. RPIT also achieved an important research milestone with our international research publication. Our indigenous scale was published in the paper titled Revisiting Marital Values Through the Lens, a study of Rabindranath path-oriented values in married couples in Kolkata, authored by Barsha Chatterjee, Dr. Payal Banerjee, and Dr. Devdilal Datta Roy, highlighting the Institute's significant contribution to developing culturally grounded psychological assessment tools rooted in indigenous knowledge systems. In terms of academic output, RPIT continued to foster research excellence and productivity. During this period, we completed 3 data analysis and PhD related research projects. We also strengthened our academic team by appointing Ms. Ashmita Day, a former student of RPIT, served as an academic assistant, providing significant support in academic coordination, student mentoring, course management, and research related activities, particularly for the 6-month online training on Foundation of Applied Psychometrics with Jamovi and R Studio 8 batch, and the 3-month certificate course on Applied Statistics for Safety and Disaster Management using Jamovi. Ms. Debarati Nath as bibliotherapist in Rabindranath literature and conflict management, further expanding our capacity in bibliotherapy, teaching, and research. She holds a master's degree in education from the University of Calcutta, is UGC NET and WB SET qualified, and has a research experience under the RUSA 2.0 initiative. Before moving ahead, I would like to briefly introduce our president, Dr. Devdilal Datta Roy. He is a psychologist and academician whose work spans psychology, statistics, and data science with a strong focus on integrating quantitative methods into behavioral research. He has served as the head of the Psychological Research Unit at the Indian Statistical Institute, Kolkata, where he contributed significantly to interdisciplinary research combining psychology with statistical analysis. He earned his PhD in organizational psychology from the Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur, and has extensive expertise in organizational and abnormal psychology. His work focuses on areas like psychometrics, rank based data analysis, and the application of AI and data science in social science research. He has also authored books on statistics and R programming, aiming to make analytical tools accessible to students and researchers. His achievements have been recognized through several prestigious honors, including the Young Scientist Award from the Indian Science Congress Association in 1988 and the Innovative Scientist Award from the Indian Academy of Health Psychology for his significant research on Rabindranath psychotherapy. He is also the founder of RPIT, where he is developing the framework of Rabindranath psychotherapy by integrating Tagore's philosophical ideas with modern psychological science. He is a member of the American Psychological Association, holds an ORCID researcher identification number, and is a registered researcher on ResearchGate, reflecting his active engagement with the global research community. His continuous efforts in AI integrated research and training are reflected in the programs we are offering today. These are glimpses of our RPIT newsletter through which we regularly document and share our academic activities, research initiatives, collaboration, and institutional achievements. Now, I would like to briefly introduce the academic programs offered by RPIT. Currently, we are offering 3 online certificate programs: Foundation of Applied Psychometrics with Jamovi and RStudio, Mixed Method Survey Research, and Pre-PhD Certificate course in Rank-Based Data Science. These programs are designed to provide practical training in research methodology, psychometrics data analysis, Jamovi R programming, and interdisciplinary research applications. Participants receive live interactive sessions, hands-on practice, study materials, mentorship, and research guidance from experts from academia and industry. Our courses are open to students, research scholars, teachers, professionals, and anyone interested in developing research and data science skills. If you wish to strengthen your research profile, prepare for higher studies, or gain practical skills in psychology and data science, we warmly invite you to enroll in our programs and become a part of the RPIT academic community. Admissions are currently open, and we look forward to welcoming you all to the journey of learning, research, and academic growth. Thank you. Over to you now, sir.
Okay, thank you, Farah, for introducing academic activities and our forthcoming courses. So today we will learn about the how AI can help in sample survey. Before that, I like to share that there are some myths about the sampling. The first myth is a larger sample always produces better research. But the reality is a representative sample is more important than simply having a large sample. Number two, probability sampling is always superior to non-probability sampling. But the reality is probability sampling is ideal for generalization, whereas non-probability sampling is often more appropriate for qualitative, exploratory, and hard-to-reach populations. Therefore, my suggestion that is when you want to conduct any research, initially you can follow the purposive sampling or non-probability sampling. AI can replace the researcher in sample selection. AI supports sampling by analyzing the data and recommending strategies, but the researcher makes the final methodological and ethical decisions. That means researcher will not be the servant of AI. Number four, random sampling guarantees a perfectly representative sample, but random sampling reduces selection bias but cannot eliminate sampling error entirely. Number five, non-response does not affect sample quality. Reality is high non-response can introduce bias even when probability sampling is used. So when you want to collect the data from the sample, please you try to check the data whether there is any missing data or not. Number six, a statistically significant sample is always representative. But statistical significance depends on effect size and sample size, whereas representativeness depends on how well the sample reflects the target population. Number seven, convenient samples are always invalid. No, convenient sampling is appropriate for pilot studies, feasibility studies, and exploratory research when its limitations are acknowledged. Number eight, AI automatically removes all sampling bias. No, AI can detect and reduce sampling bias, but biased databases or algorithms may still produce biased sample. 9. Every research study requires probability sampling. The reality is the choice of sampling method depends on the research objective, design, available resources, and target population. Number 10. Sampling is only about selecting participants. No, sampling also involves defining the target population, developing a sampling frame, estimating sample size, minimizing bias, and ensuring ethical participant selection. That means researcher may have some assumption that is the myth. Now I am sharing What is sample survey? Sample survey is one of the most widely used methods of data collection in scientific research. In a sample survey, researchers collect information from a selected group of individuals called a sample, rather than studying every member of the entire population. What is the objective of sample survey? The objective is to obtain information that accurately represents the characteristics, opinions, attitudes, or behaviors of the larger population. Since studying the whole population is often expensive, time-consuming, and practically difficult, sample surveys provide an efficient and scientifically valid alternative. Sample selection. The quality of a sample survey depends largely on how the sample is selected, whether it is representative of the population, and whether sampling bias is minimized. How do you define population? The first step in a sample survey is to define the target population. The target population consists of all individuals or units about which the researcher intends to draw conclusions. For example, if a researcher wants to study psychological safety among employees of a power generation company, the target population includes all eligible employees working in that organization. AI in probability sampling. Artificial intelligence enhances probability sampling by improving the accuracy, efficiency, and representativeness of sample selection. It analyzes the sampling frame, removes duplicate or ineligible records, estimates the required sample size, and recommends the most appropriate probability sampling method, such as simple random, systematic, stratified, cluster, or multi-stage sampling. Simple random sampling. In simple random sampling, AI generates truly random selections after validating the sampling frame. In systematic sampling, it calculates the sampling interval and checks for hidden patterns that may introduce bias. In stratified sampling, AI identifies relevant strata, allocates the sample proportionally, and randomly selects participants within each subgroup to ensure adequate representation. So when you are interested to do simple random sampling through AI, initially you have to tell the characteristics of your defined population. Then it is possible by AI to select the relevant strata. Okay. It alarms researchers. AI also monitors recruitment in real time by comparing respondent characteristics with the target population. When certain groups are underrepresented due to non-response, AI alerts the researcher and recommends corrective recruitment strategies, thereby reducing sampling bias and improving the generalizability of research findings. So AI can give you alarm Okay. And as a researcher, it is your duty to examine whether that alarm is appropriate for your sampling or not. For example, in a survey of 5,000 employees, AI recommends proportionate stratified random sampling. AI estimates the required sample size, allocates participants across departments according to their population proportion, and continuously monitors responses to ensure that the final sample accurately represents the workforce. Next is the non-probability sampling. So whenever you want to use the probability sampling, always you think about the normal probability distribution. So that some data will be at the lower end, some data will be upper end, and some data will be the middle point. So 70% of the data will be at the middle, and 15% of the data that will be at the lower end, and 15% of the data that will be at the upper end. As I told, that non-probability sampling is useful for the pilot study because pilot study provides you the possible difficulties and possible strata for your research. And besides that, you have to do the literature review because you have to understand the effect of strata on your research area. Non-probability sampling. Artificial intelligence also enhances non-probability sampling by helping researchers identify participants who best meet the study objectives. It analyzes large data sets, online platforms, organizational records, or social media data to identify eligible participants based on inclusion and exclusion criteria. There, my suggestion, always you determine the inclusion and the exclusion criteria of your population. And you have to tell these criteria to AI. Next is convenience quota and snowball sampling. In convenience sampling, AI quickly identifies the most accessible participants. In purposive sampling, it recommends individuals with specific expertise or characteristics relevant to the research question. In quota sampling, AI monitors participant recruitment to ensure that predetermined quotas for different groups are achieved. And in snowball sampling, AI analyzes social networks or referral patterns to identify additional participants from hard to reach population. So when you find out that your data is supposed to be skewed, okay, most of the time we find that is the data is negatively skewed. Therefore, you can tell AI that I want to get that type of data so that my data will follow the normal distribution. So AI can give you the suggestion. Predictions. AI further assists by predicting response rates, reducing recruitment time, monitoring sample diversity, and identifying potential sources of selection bias. Although non-probability sampling does not allow statistical generalization to the entire population, AI improves the efficiency, transparency, and quality of participant selection. For example, a researcher studying the experiences of caregivers of children may use AI to identify eligible participants from hospital records in support groups. AI can recommend participants who criteria, monitor recruitment across age groups and regions, and suggest additional recruitment if certain categories of caregivers are underrepresented. Conclusion. In conclusion, artificial intelligence is transforming probability sampling, improving sampling frame preparation. When you have next function will be the sampling frame. So once the population is defined, the researcher develops a sampling frame, which is a complete list of eligible participants from which the sample will be selected. Appropriate inclusion and exclusion criteria are also established to ensure that only relevant participants are included in your study. So, AI can provide you the sampling frame. It can monitor representativeness. It can reduce the sampling bias and support high quality scientific research. When combined with classical probability sampling techniques and ethical research practices, AI enables researchers to obtain representative sample more efficiently and produce findings more reliable, valid, and generalizable. Okay. So in this way, AI can provide you the different supports for making strategy to select the sample. So today we have learned things. First is the myths about sample. Second, we have learned what is the meaning of population, the meaning of sampling frame. Third, we have learned how AI can provide researchers support and also the next point is the non-probability sampling. Now the question is why I am giving importance on sample survey. Because once upon a time, I collected large number of data from the agricultural farmers about the self-efficacy of agricultural farmers. At that time, there is no question of AI. Nothing is there. So when I finish the analysis, I have noted the reliability level of my data is very low, maybe 0.3 or 0.4. Then I discussed this issue in different forums, especially with some NGOs. And they are telling, sir, whatever the data you have collected, that is basically the chemical used farming procedure. And when you apply the chemical, that means there is no control of agricultural farmers over their land, over their seed, pesticides, etc. And I have noted the same thing. When I visited Nadia, there I have noticed that many farmers are crying. What is the underlying reason? Because some of the business people, they are motivating the farmers to use the chemical, pesticide, etc. And then I have discussed this issue with some agricultural officers of the state. They are telling that is sad if you visit Sundarban, there you can find out the non-chemical users. Finally, I collected data from the agricultural farmers of Sundarban. And the reliability of my study becomes more than 0.8. So this is a very serious issue. So when you get chance to interact with artificial intelligence, it is your function to tell everything to AI so that AI can give you some suggestion. And then you have to think whether that suggestions will be appropriate for you or not. Therefore, you can depend upon AI, but your judgment, your experience, specifically the reviews of literature, that is very much important. Earlier, I presented the webinar related to AI in questionnaire development, and possibly this is the fourth webinar on AI in sample survey. And when you join our institute, we can give you the data we will teach you some of the statistical software so that you can easily understand the limitation of sample survey and how AI can help you. So if you have any question, you can ask me. It will be available in YouTube. So you can get it from YouTube also. Okay, since you do not have any question, I am requesting you.
Hello, sir.
হ্যাঁ সুনীলা,
হ্যাঁ
please.
স্যার, আমি জানতে চাইছিলাম that how where can we find how to frame the questionnaires based on the sample which we have, representative sample which we find out through this AI. এটা এটা যেটা আপনি বললেন না, এখানে আপনি সেমিনার একটা করেছেন, তো এই সেমিনারটা কি
এর আগে আমি করেছিলাম একবার।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, তো সেটা
এআই এর সাপোর্ট দিয়ে কি করে আমি কোশ্চেনিয়ার তৈরি করব।
রাইট, তো এটা কি ইউটিউবে পাওয়া যাবে?
হ্যাঁ, ইউটিউবে পাওয়া যাবে।
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা, ফাইন, আমি দেখবো তাহলে। এই লিঙ্কটা যদি পেতাম ভালো হতো। And it is very important because a representative sample first decision is very important to reach the right conclusion. মানে জিনিসটা যে যেটা নিয়ে রিসার্চ করবে, the hypothesis is based on the proper sampling. So I think এটা মানে আপনি যেটা বললেন কি ফার্মারদের ওখানেও আপনি রিপ্রেজেন্টেটিভ স্যাম্পল পাননি, তারপর রাইট স্যাম্পল পাওয়াতে you were able to establish better truths on your hypothesis and your research. So সেটা is very important. আমার এই কাজটা হয়ে যাক, আমার আরেকটা কাজ হবে। তো আমি definitely I will look into doing one of the programs so that in future আমরাও নানা রকম রিসার্চ এটা ওটা সেটা নিয়ে করি, which will require these kind of applications. শেখার তো কোনো বয়স নেই, শেষ নেই। তো let me look into the questionnaire, how it is developed based on the sample যেটা আপনি বললেন, তাহলে will be a clearer picture. আর যে কাজটা আমি করব then possibly এর অ্যাপ্লিকেশনটা সেখানে করা যেতে পারবে আপনার সাথে, আপনাদের ইনস্টিটিউটের সাথে। That I'll speak to you separately. ঠিক আছে?
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, খুব ভালো হবে।
Right. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the wonderful seminar.
Thank you. Now I am requesting all of you, please close your hands for the closing prayer. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Okay, thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
For joining the webinar. So I'm closing now. In the next week, there will be another webinar that will be declared by Farah.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you.